My sister-in-law is jealous of me, and now she's ghosting me.
Why are you so jealous?
I'm a bridesmaid in my sister-in-law's upcoming wedding. Let's call her Amy. She's engaged to my husband's brother. We've known each other for about 3 years. I've always known she can be a bit self-centered, but I never let it bother me too much. By the way, this comes from Marion Berry Ladder 209, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/okstorytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do, so let us know what you would do in the comments. As OP says, family dynamics can be tricky, and I figured it wasn't worth making a thing out of. Especially because, aside from that, we were really close and did a lot of things together. She quickly became a person I trusted and confided personal things to. In July, Amy asked me to be a bridesmaid. Her bachelorette party was in August, which happened to fall on my sister's birthday. Amy and my sister barely knew each other. They've only met twice, but Amy invited my sister to come along so I wouldn't have to miss her birthday. My sister has struggled with severe social anxiety her whole life, and about 2 weeks before the trip, she told me she couldn't go. She was feeling overwhelmed and wanted to celebrate quietly with her fiancé instead. I completely understood and apologized to Amy, explaining everything. I even told Amy to keep my sister's share of the Airbnb, which I paid, since it was late notice. She was kind about it and actually refunded me. I remember thinking it was really considerate of her. Amy's party was co-ed and she wanted my husband to come, so we both took Friday off work and went. The guys stayed in one house, the girls in another. The first night, Amy rented a party bus to go bar hopping. Everything was fun until the last bar. Amy got very wasted, pulled me aside, and started crying. Out of nowhere, she said she didn't like me because she was jealous of me and wishes she could be me for her fiancé. I was completely stunned. I tried to reassure her, telling her she was great and that her fiancé obviously loves her. But she just kept crying and repeating it. My mother-in-law and her best friend saw us and came over, and Amy told them the same thing. Later that night, she was so wasted that I carried her 3 blocks back to the Airbnb. When we got there, her sister had fallen asleep in my bed, so I had to sleep next to Amy. Right before she fell asleep, she looked at me and said, "I don't know why you're even here." The next night, we were supposed to go on a yacht cruise, but it rained, so the group did karaoke instead. All the girls were sitting together while I sat off to the side. Every time I cued a song, it got skipped. Even Amy's sister's husband came up to me and whispered, "Don't let the girls bully you." I said it was fine and ended up doing my own thing because I felt like I wasn't wanted there. I was talking to Amy's fiancé and his 2 sisters on the side while all the girls were playing karaoke, and Amy asked my husband to sing a song. He sang a song for his mom, my mother-in-law, and I thought it was really sweet. I was watching while also having a conversation with Amy's fiancé and his 2 sisters on the side of the room. Then Amy suddenly stood up in front of everyone, pointed at me from across the room, and shouted, "Look, she's not even looking at him," referring to my husband. The rest of the bachelorette party happened without any other issues, but I was ready to get out of there as soon as possible. The bachelorette was in August. The bridal shower was scheduled for late September. I had just started a new position at my company on September 1st, while still finishing work from my old job until they hired my replacement. I was working from 7 a.m. to 9 or 10 p.m. almost every day, skipping meals just to stay afloat. This project was incredibly time sensitive and demanding that month. My birthday was September 18th, 3 days before the shower. Amy and her fiancé didn't even text me a happy birthday, which stung a little, but I brushed it off. Then, on Friday the 19th, my boss told me I'd have to work all weekend. I pushed back and said I had a bridal shower Sunday, but she told me there was nobody else who could do the work and the project was time sensitive. We agreed that if I finished early, I could still go. I texted Amy, hey, I'm so sorry, but I might not be able to make it to the bridal shower this weekend. I'm being asked to work Saturday and Sunday if I can't get enough done today. I'm trying my best to get it all done, but wanted to give you adequate notice. Her reply was, well, that would really suck and would be super disappointing. I hope you'll be able to make it. Let me know whenever you find out, though, because we'll need someone else to bring the charcuterie board then.
She just wants your charcuterie board?
Yeah, don't say it.
You can't say
You
that,
can't say that, Keon. What are you
literally
doing?
Can't say that. Nah, man. I'm just imagining OP has like the best charcuterie boards in the land.
Yeah, and she, you know what? The bride, she doesn't deserve your charcuterie board. That message hurt. I felt like the only reason I mattered was because I was supposed to bring food. A few hours later, I texted back, hey, at this point, I don't think I'm going to make it. I know for sure I need to work this weekend. She just replied, okay. And that is okay. 2 weeks went by without a word from her. On October 2nd, I texted asking if she still wanted to go to a concert I'd bought tickets for months earlier. A $450 birthday gift for her. But I even offered to pick her up and take her to dinner first at a restaurant that does pasta flights because she loves Italian food. Yeah.
Like you get multiple things of pasta?
Yeah, it's like a pasta tasting.
Done a pasta flight.
Yeah, me and Keon did one in Santa Monica.
Santa Monica?
And it was very good.
Where I live, I can go get a pasta flight?
You can get pasta flight.
It was a really good pasta
It was
flight.
a really good pasta flight.
I'm so hungry.
Why are
She
you looking at
wants
the
a
camera
pasta
like
flight.
you're gonna eat? Oh no.
Marconi almonds?
Maybe.
You didn't even know for sure.
You were like, that's I don't know.
It sounds like it could be something.
She ignored the text. After 5 days, I called and left a voicemail because the concert was in 4 days and I still hadn't heard from her. The next day, she finally replied, I'm going to be honest here, even though I feel really awkward, I'm still very hurt that you didn't come to my bridal shower as one of my bridesmaids. I don't want to be fake and pretend that everything is fine when I need more time. So I am not going to go on Sunday. I hope you can find someone else to take the ticket or be able to sell it, and I hope you and your sister have a great time. I was so taken aback that I texted her this. Wow, this is really surprising and feels incredibly unfair. I feel like I haven't even had the chance to talk this through with you, but if you'd rather do this over text, that's fine. That week, I was working nonstop from 7 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. every day, skipping lunches and dinners just to try to get enough done to make it to your bridal shower. It was also my birthday that week, and I didn't even celebrate. I just worked so I could be there for you. I know how important this time is for you, and after 2 years of knowing me, I would have hoped you'd know I'd never miss something like that unless it was truly out of my control. I didn't choose to miss it. I was told on Friday that I had to work through the weekend, and even when I refused, my boss said I didn't have a choice. I understand if you need some space, but I also feel like we won't be able to get back to a good place if I don't even have the opportunity to show up for you. I spent over $450 on these tickets for your birthday because I really wanted to do something special for you. And it just feels unfair that you'd hold me needing to work against me and not want to go. I called you yesterday because I had a feeling you were still upset, and I was hoping we could talk it out instead of doing this over text. Her response: if you sensed I was upset, I'm not sure why that's surprising. When you only sent 2 short texts, it felt like the shower wasn't a big deal for you. If you had called or even explained your work situation more in text, I could have understood. It's been over 2 weeks and I haven't heard anything from you just about the concert. If you knew I was upset, why wouldn't you have done that in the 2 weeks? I'm not trying to fight or go back and forth. I care about you, which is why I'm being honest and not making up some random excuse. My feelings were hurt and still are, and that's valid.
The thing is that I don't know why I get that. I think OP's just a very nice person. But I don't really understand why you feel like you need to explain all of this.
Right.
To a person who said they hate you.
That want to be you.
Honestly, that's worse. Her reason for hating you is pure jealousy.
Right.
It's
Which
like,
she
you
knows,
did
which
nothing
is
wrong.
So weird.
Put
There
it-
isn't even
Yeah.
anything that you can fix. There's nothing that you can do better.
And we still haven't even talked about, like, they have not had a conversation about the karaoke night.
No.
Which is insane.
So, like, truly, I'd just be like,
Hey, remember when you told me you didn't
Yeah.
want me and screamed across the karaoke bar?
I feel like you don't want me as your bridesmaid. So,
yeah.
perfect. I can't make it. Like, we don't need to have all this, like, back and forth when, again, this person hates you.
I told my husband everything. He thought the whole thing was ridiculous and that she was taking it way too far. But he also told me I should probably try to be the bigger person because she's going to be family no matter what. He wasn't wrong. We're going to see her for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and her destination wedding, which we've already spent over $8,000 on. So even though I didn't think I owed her another apology, I sent one final text. Hey, I get what you're saying, and I really am sorry that it came across that way. I completely understand that your feelings are valid. If I were in your shoes and I felt like a close friend didn't care, I'd probably feel hurt too. That said, I did try to communicate at the time that I might not be able to make it and that I was working around the clock to still try. I honestly thought that message explained the situation enough. But looking back, I see how it might have felt a bit brief or distant, especially since I didn't follow up afterwards when things calmed down. That wasn't because I didn't care. It's because I was completely drained and trying to catch up on everything that fell behind that week. I really do value you and our friendship, and the last thing I want was for you to think I didn't care about your shower or you. I hope we can talk this through when you're ready. I'd rather not let something that was never about a lack of care, but more so a communication issue, create more distance between us. She replied, I actually really, really appreciate that. And that was 3 weeks ago. No other message, no follow-up, no effort. I found out later from my husband that she told her fiance she wasn't going to the concert to prove a point to me and my sister. That if we could miss things, then so could she. I thought that was incredibly petty, especially considering I missed the bridal shower because it was completely out of my control. And my sister backed out of the bachelorette due to her severe anxiety and mental health struggles. If she were just a friend, I'd probably have stepped back and let the relationship fade, but she's family. And we're already financially and emotionally committed to being at her wedding.
I'm sorry that she's trying to prove a point. Like, she's so prideful. She's like, yeah, I'm proving a point. I guarantee you everyone's like, what point?
Right.
Yeah, what's your point? That's for you, but okay. Don't you want to see that band? Yeah, but no.
Yeah, but not as much as I want to prove a point.
I ultimately do not want to be a bridesmaid in her wedding because of all of this. But my husband told me I should grin and bear it.
Shut up, husband. You grin and bear it. Stop it. Stop making your wife grin and bear it.
He's like, but she messed up my karaoke song. And I had to just get past it. So
I had to
you.
continue the song.
You know
I had to
how
keep
hard it is
singing.
to sing My Heart Will Go On when it's been ruined?
When you're crying inside.
My heart couldn't go on.
That's so hard.
And potentially hope that she'll be the one to reach out and ask me to step down as a bridesmaid, but she's been no contact for about 4 weeks now. Am I supposed to continue initiating contact in the situation, or would you wait for her to reach out? We have an update. I will say the bride-to-be was the last one to send a text.
Yeah.
I do think she should have sent another one. I would guess, though, in that situation, that she is expecting OP
You to yes.
to be the next to text.
Well, I mean, it's been pretty clear that she's wanting, this whole time, she's been wanting OP to be the kind of instigator of any,
Right.
Apologies.
And I feel like that's exactly like their whole text conversation was like, you didn't reach out. And now it's like, okay, I don't think you needed to reach out again, OP. However, I do think that's what she's waiting for.
I agree. Yeah. I think if you're wondering about this specific situation, she's probably waiting for you to reach out. However, I don't think we should even go to the wedding. Or maybe you go to the wedding, but you're not a bridesmaid.
Yeah, I think
I
you
would
could reach
drop
back
out of
out to
that.
just step back from your duties.
Yeah. I'd be
And you
like,
can
"Hey."
totally frame it just as like, hey, like, I don't want to be missing out on your big, like, on my duties as a bridesmaid. So I'm just going to step down. Like, I'll be at the wedding. I'll be there to support you and I'll help where I can. But, like, I don't want to keep disappointing you by not making my bridesmaid's duties.
Put it
or
on
something.
her, but in a sneaky way.
Update. In a nutshell, here's what happened. She's engaged to my husband's brother, and I'm one of her bridesmaids. We used to be close, but things went downhill after I couldn't attend her bridal shower because of work. She went no contact afterward and later told people she skipped a concert I had bought tickets for her to prove a point. After nearly a month of silence, I finally drove an hour to talk with her in person. I wanted to clear the air before her wedding and hopefully get some closure. Instead, I left feeling smaller, frustrated, and strangely relieved because now I know exactly who she is. Before this meeting, I had already tried reaching out multiple times. I texted, called, left a voicemail, and even messaged her on the gram, but she stayed silent for weeks. We eventually had a tense exchange over text where she said she needed space, so I respected that and gave her time. Then 3 weeks later, I found out from her fiance that she'd been waiting for me to reach out again, even though she was the one who asked for space in the first place. Still, I wanted peace, so I asked to meet. When I arrived, she acted like nothing was wrong, cheerful, chatty, and completely normal. We made small talk for a bit, and then she asked me to start the serious part of the conversation. I told her I felt that my 2 initial texts after the bridal shower were apologetic and explanatory. If she didn't feel that way, I wished she'd just said something instead of ignoring me for weeks. I reminded her I'd reached out multiple times because I could tell she was upset, but I had no idea about what. I said I hadn't realized she was still angry about the shower since I'd already apologized and explained that I was being forced to work that weekend.
You have not done anything wrong in any scenario.
Yeah.
That's the thing. If you had done something wrong and then apologized and then she was still mad, I would still be like, well, that's messed up. Like, you apologized and she's still mad. You literally are just existing. She hates you. You
She's
apologize
jealous
for
of
her
you.
hating you. And then you get called into work. She's upset that you can't get off work.
She didn't wish you a happy birthday.
She didn't wish you, like,
This is all stepping down to OP's charcuterie boards.
yes.
The charcuterie's too good.
It was
It's
too
too
good. She was, I
good.
guarantee you, she was hyping it up. And
then
she's
she
like,
couldn't
guys,
bring it.
the best part of this bridal shower?
Marcona almonds on that
Charcuterie,
board.
yeah. And she probably went to go to a store and buy like one of those like bland ones where you don't even make
Dude,
you don't even make it.
don't even bring those, honestly. If you're coming to one of my parties and you're bringing me one of those little plastic charcuterie boards, don't even come.
At least put some thought into
Don't
it.
even don't call
I don't
me.
e- don't
Don't
call
come by
me.
my
I don't even-
house. We're
Who
done.
are you?
Then I told her that when I learned she skipped the concert I bought for her birthday to prove a point, it felt like she was trying to emotionally punish me for something that was beyond my control. Like she was treating me as disposable. I said that really hurt, especially after all the effort I'd made to make peace. Finally, I'd asked if I'd ever done anything that made her feel like I didn't care about her. She said my texts weren't enough, that they were too short and felt like a hand to her face. She said other bridesmaids missed her shower too, but they were more apologetic, and she expected more from me after the way she showed up for me at my wedding that was a few days before her shower. She said she went above and beyond by staying up late with me, trying to get my dad to dance, and more. For context, I never planned to dance with my dad because he doesn't dance. She pushed the issue at my wedding, made it awkward, and now used that as an explanation of how she'd gone above and beyond. She also said I was supposed to help plan her shower with another bridesmaid and that my lack of involvement made her feel like I didn't care. I told her I did reach out to that bridesmaid, and she told me not to worry about it. Amy brushed that off completely. Then she compared me to our other sister-in-law and said, "You made me feel like you don't care about me. Like how I don't care about her." That comment really stung, especially since she caused a huge scene at that sister-in-law's bachelorette too. She told me she had to reach out to me after I said I might not make it, which isn't true. I was the one who texted her to confirm I couldn't attend. She only replied once to say it was disappointing and that she'd need someone else to bring the charcuterie board I'd signed up for.
God, that's disappointing. Guess
Right
no
back to that.
charcuterie this time.
Right back to the charcuterie.
I
Aw,
told you guys,
man.
it stems,
You really can't make it?
stems from a really good charcuterie board. If
It's
you
just too good.
if you have that talent, you're known for it.
Yeah.
She said when I eventually explained my full work situation, then she understood and would have been fine with it if she'd known. I told her I didn't share all the details at the time because I didn't want to dump my stress on her right before her shower. I wanted her to enjoy her day. She didn't respond to that at all. At one point, she told me she hadn't told anyone in the family about what happened and that one of our cousins keeps asking her to go out drinking, but she's been turning them down so I won't feel left out. It sounded less like kindness and more like, I could make you look bad or exclude you, but I'm being generous.
This is so frustrating. She literally, now she's saying that I'm skipping other events for you. You're making me skip other events.
Right. Girl, just invite me to the other events.
Honestly, don't invite me. Just go to the other events and leave me out of it.
Right. I don't want to be there. Eventually, she said she still wants me as a bridesmaid and doesn't want me to feel left out or disposable. The irony wasn't lost on me because that's exactly how she made me feel for months. I told her that next time it would help if she communicated instead of shutting down. She said likewise. Then I asked if we were okay, and she said yes and hugged me. And immediately I regretted asking because it let her feel like she'd forgiven me, as if she was being gracious, when she hadn't taken accountability for a single thing she did. Driving home, I felt frustrated and angry.
This is the language that I'm talking about. It made her feel like she had, or like I had accepted, like the forgive OP is my
Right.
point. Yeah. Like, she accepted my apology. I made her feel like she had forgiven me.
Right.
When you have
We didn't
done
need
nothing wrong.
Right. And we're kind of just encouraging her to keep
Yes.
doing it because
Yes.
you're just roundabout apologizing.
Because she knows that
You know
every
what-
time she's upset or whatever, you'll just cow.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're enabling
you
this
need an
behavior.
apology
Just cower
too,
to
OP.
her. Yeah.
You're enabling for her to have this mentality of like she's wrong. I mean, she's right in a way.
Yeah,
No,
when you have
exactly.
done nothing wrong.
I realized I'd apologized again, even though I'd already done it before, and she still hadn't once apologized to me. Not for ignoring me, not for punishing me, not for twisting the story. I hate that she framed herself as the forgiving one and me as the person who needed forgiveness. And I hate that I drove an hour each way just to leave feeling drained. It hit me that the whole conversation wasn't about resolution for her, it was about control. She wanted to be in a position where she could say she'd moved past it without ever having to look at what she did. Her wedding is coming up soon, my husband is the best man, and I'm still a bridesmaid.
Why? Why?
I don't know. I feel
Why
like
are you still a bridesmaid?
your husband's also just compliant to this notion of like, yeah, you did something wrong. She
I
didn't
don't
do
like
much.
your husband though.
Yeah.
Like, your husband keeps making you feel like you did something wrong and you need to apologize and you just
Yeah.
need to like let it happen and let them walk all over you. No.
It's like, why is no one going to her and being like, hey,
Yeah.
you're being really mean?
You're being
Everyone-
really mean,
What are we
Topi.
doing?
Why is everyone letting her get away with it?
Yeah.
You can't keep getting away with this.
can't keep getting away with this.
But you guys can keep getting away with listening to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, whatever your favorite podcast app is, and search up OK Storytime. We've got just a little bit left.
Just a wee
But
bit.
Final thoughts.
I would not be her bridal. I would not be in her bridal party at the
Yeah.
very least. Maybe
Yeah,
I go
definitely
to
not
the
a
wedding,
bridesmaid.
but not a bridesmaid.
I think I'd go as a guest just because it is such a family thing, but
Yeah.
I think I'd be like, I really don't think I'm the one to be a
Yeah.
bridesmaid for you.
And you need to have a conversation with your husband and say, hey,
Yeah.
I get that you don't want to cause trouble, but it's hurting me. At this
Right.
point, I am being affected.
I can't just keep apologizing for not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
But also,
Ridiculous.
but also, OP, you gotta stop apologizing for nothing.
Yes. One, your husband needs to stop pushing you to do that. Two, you need to stand up for yourself and say, I didn't do anything wrong.
Right. Where's my apology from you?
Yeah, I mean, you literally said it. You're like, that wasn't even. What was the reason I went there? Was no reason
Yeah.
to drive 2 hours, pretty much.
Yeah, it was 2 hours, hour each way.
2 hours. You should only be driving 2 hours for fun things.
If it weren't for family optics and the money already spent, I'd step down in a heartbeat. For now, I'm choosing to keep things polite and detached. Show up, do what's required, smile for the photos, and protect my energy. I've stopped trying to repair a relationship that only survives on her terms. I've realized she confuses control with closeness and silence with strength. She doesn't communicate, she punishes. And no matter how many times I apologize or explain myself, she'll always find a new way to remind me that I fell short. Am I in the wrong for still feeling angry and detached after this? Or do other people also see the red flags and think this is someone I should start setting serious boundaries with?
Set those boundaries.
Set 'em.
Set those
Set
boundaries.
Yeah.
She can be upset. You can say things to upset her. Like, if they're your actual feelings. Like, I'm not saying, like, go and be mean. I'm saying, like, if you are feeling a certain way and she's just not gonna like you talking about it,
Yeah.
boo-hoo. You have
Yeah.
to talk about it.
You gotta
Sometimes you have to
talk.
have hard conversations, guys.
My in-laws dislike me, and I'm trapped with them.
In a cage?
Good morning. I am a long-term watcher of OK Storytime. I'm always amused and find so much of it relatable. So I thought it was about time I shared the wild ride with my in-laws. I, 39 female, have been with my husband, 36 male, nearly 15 years. We'll call him John. By the way, this comes from product key 4622, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKstorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I am Dakota.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do, so let us know what you would do in the comment. And OP says, so I met hubby some years ago, and we were long distance. He was just out of high school, 19 years old, and whew, we were babies. And I was out of college, 22. It felt more scandalous than it was. Anyway, after dating for a couple of months, 2,000 miles apart, we both decided we wanted to give it a real shot. I sold my car, quit my job, packed 2 bags, and flew across the country. It was scary, but he was worth it. And clearly he is, still, many years later. Now, he was 19, and he kind of fibbed when he said father-in-law, 65-ish, knew I existed, and it was okay for me to move in. Turns out he didn't, and it was a surprise. The one good thing father-in-law ever did, in my opinion, was roll with it. I flew in, Hubs told father-in-law I was coming, and they both came to pick me up. On the ride to the new home, I got a quick and very telling red flag within the first 5 minutes. I was very independent up to this point, working full-time with my own space and everything before leaving, so I wasn't used to being told what for by a man. Father-in-law was driving and let me know, this is how this works. You'll cook, clean, and take care of my son or anything else I say. You don't get to have a say. I almost took the next flight home. I probably should have and had Hubs move back to my state instead, but alas, I was willing to overlook it at the time, I suppose. Anyway, from day one, I was enemy number 1. Father-in-law didn't like me at all. I went out of my way to be kind, helpful, calm, and non-combative. I'm very assertive by nature. But it didn't matter. Brother-in-law, 34 male, also disliked me massively because I stole his brother. Their sister, my sister-in-law Beth, 33 female, wasn't around much, but when she was home, she also made it clear that she doesn't like me. Now, I wanted out. I considered it if I didn't love that man so much, and he was good to me, even though he was controlled by his evil father-in-law as well. We also lived like 45 minutes away from any civilization, literally nowhere, so I couldn't even get a job if I tried. No internet because it wasn't serviced out there. And father-in-law sold hubby's car within the first 3 months to pay for bills. Stuck. So we existed in limbo for a long time. I felt compelled to deal with what was thrown at me because I had no way to leave, no job, and couldn't find one. And I lived in his house now. Our room was in the garage, which doesn't sound great at first, but it was like a little haven from the rest of the house. I made that tiny space into a home. We ended up pregnant in 2011, much to my surprise, with my PCOS and such, and we had a girl. Father-in-law was very good to my daughter, if not me, so at least there was that. Things got worse over time, though. Some notes for those first few years, because writing them all out would be endless. Father-in-law's girlfriend stole all my vegetables that my own dad sent me when I was pregnant with gestational diabetes, citing I was a selfish POS for having anything to myself. I was forbidden from then on to get even vegetables without giving them to his girlfriend first. Father-in-law tried on multiple occasions to break us up, and I was the only one required to clean, including brother-in-law's filthy room and vomit-filled adult soda bottles. Father-in-law never got trash service, so we had a legit mountain of trash at the bottom of the hill with pests and mice they would take to the dump once every 2 months. We ran out of water from the well. We did get a cheap car that father-in-law put in my name about 2 years in. after he got his huge truck repoed and also put the insurance only in my name so that they could all drive around and throw me under the bus if they got in trouble. They weren't on the insurance against the law. Brother-in-law took the only car, mine, to joyride and disappear for days when I was nearly due and couldn't get to the hospital, when I was having complications around 39 weeks and wouldn't respond to calls or texts. Mother-in-law, who we don't reference often, was enraged I didn't name my baby after her. Literally cut us off for that. Father-in-law blew through all the money he would make, meaning stability was not a thing. I was eventually on EBT and cash aid for my little family, which he would get mad at me if I wouldn't support everyone in the house on it, so $600 a month was supposed to feed us plus 4 others. I eventually managed to stand up to him on that because of the baby, despite his rage. So we didn't have much, but baby was never hungry or dirty. Brother-in-law met a girl in 2012. She moved in within the first 2 weeks of dating and was pregnant a week later. Sister-in-law Anne, 34 female, was a waifish-looking, self-centered, horrible person. Therefore, father-in-law approved because they're almost the same. She's diagnosed with schizophrenia, unmedicated, and refuses to admit it's a thing, and has severe NPD. From the moment she moved in, if possible, it was worse. No.
Yeah, I mean, now
Worse?
you've got... That doesn't sound like she's going to make anything better.
Oh, lordy, Lord. I really can't wait for you guys to move out. I really hope the story ends with, like, and I've been out of that house for 15 years.
I think it has to, because they didn't even have internet up there. They were just living on off the
grid.
Off the mice that lived in the trash at the bottom of the hill.
True dat.
They would catch them with nets.
Anne wanted my hubby, claiming many times she got the wrong brother to my face and claimed hubby wasn't lucky enough to get her. She had a son and acted like she was a godsend for that, because I'll have the first grandson. Like I cared. She was enraged I got pregnant with the son next, claiming I did it on purpose and only got pregnant out of jealousy. She was also mad I named my son after his father, so she had to do the same thing with her 4th child, a version of dad's name in girl form. How petty. She made literally everything a competition between us, no matter what it was. She peed in my shampoo bottle as revenge once. She even stole my ID when it came in the mail. She slandered me to everyone in the family when she didn't like the way something went. A lot of those lies are still believed today. Later on, we both got pregnant again with girls. Tragically, she was pregnant first again, which meant another round of, "You did it on purpose." Anyway, after my son was born, we finally moved out. Hubby was going to school full-time, which was really our way out of all this. Well, when I say we moved out, it was because the house went into foreclosure since father-in-law gambled so much everything went under. He picked a shack out and rented it for us a block from his new place, new girlfriend's house, and living on her. Put our names on it and everything, which I still don't know how that even happened.
How is he legally putting your name
Multiple times
on things you aren't approving?
That's
like,
crazy. That's crazy. How's he doing that?
This is crazy.
He knew the old landlady his whole life or something. He used it as a way to control us, my hubby specifically, who had been working for his dad as well as going to school, small business at this point, as a way to make ends meet. Father-in-law liked it that way because he would withhold pay if he didn't like something we were doing or not doing. When hubby would travel for work, happened like once a month, father-in-law would come over. He had a key, I had no say. And take showers in my house, walk around in his towel, and try to menace me.
Like, but you have, it's your name on the property?
I'm changing the locks. If your name's on that property, I'm changing the locks.
But it's like, also, why are we just not moving away?
Yeah.
I would much rather stay in a car with my whole family than be in this situation. Like, I would rather swing that.
I mean, you don't want the kids.
I don't even care with the kids.
What?
It's the kids better to be in that situation. I don't trust these people.
I mean, I don't know. I
One of them
disagree
is
with
so
that.
severely mentally ill, I
Yes.
wouldn't trust that she wouldn't, like, take my kids and, like, leave them in the woods. Like,
Yeah.
like
I mean, at this point-
I'm so far away from all these people.
I would
so
try
fast.
I would try to get out of there, but I
I'm
also
taking
understand.
the car with my name on it,
Yeah, I
and I'm
understand
gone.
OP. I understand OP's desire to give the kids a roof over their head because that is important. But yeah, this is a terrible situation.
Cars got roofs.
That they have
Last time I
4
checked,
kids.
I don't think you guys have a convertible.
They have 4 kids.
Hey, 2 kids.
No, they don't. They at least have 3 kids now.
Well, I would have scramoosed with the first one.
We were behind on rent. Hubby was already having money withheld at this point, and father-in-law demanded I give him my daughter to take her to some Easter event 2 hours away. I told him no, in no uncertain terms, because despite everything else I dealt with, my kids are not pawns, and I will mama bear with them to the end of the world. He was infuriated and refused to pay Hubs in retribution, telling us to go homeless instead, and he meant it. Whew. Mind you, we have been trying to find other work for months. Hubby going to school, we were trying but drowning. Red Cross and other charities are a godsend, I'll tell you. But enough was enough. We were going to be possibly homeless, but I would not allow him to use my children for his games ever. They are my world, and I will not allow them to be blackmail. So we did everything we could. Hubs took other random jobs from friends they luckily had for him to do, would still end up out of town. Changed the locks, you name it. Father-in-law would stand outside when hubby was gone, screaming at the house the worst obscenities in earshot of my kids, who I would take to the farthest room so they hopefully couldn't hear it. Because our choices were running out, hubby decided to join the military. The best decision we could ever make. I will be eternally thankful for what the military did for our family, no matter the trials that brought on over the years. We packed up our life and left. We cut them off. Stupidly, I would let Anne convince me to let her be in my life, on and off, the last decade, I don't know. And PD is a mean thing to deal with, and she's an amazing liar, though no more. We have been stable, happy, and away from them all for 10 years now. That third baby came right at the beginning of his enlistment, which was fun, because being pregnant during his old basic training and AIT training while we were separated. And fourth baby, girl, came a year and a half later. Oops.
Honestly, what are you doing? I'm sorry. No more oopsies.
Well, I think
girl.
they're figuring it out now.
Come on.
I think they're in a better state right now.
Come on.
I don't think OP is regretful of any of it.
Everybody needs to know what condoms are.
Now, since all that, our life has turned 180 around. Hubby is healed and whole from his own horrible trauma. I am healed and strong now. I take no bull at all. Last I've heard, things are the same as always with the in-laws. We haven't spoken a word to father-in-law since we left. Not once. Oh, and in the universe has a sense of humor sort of way. My fourth was born on father-in-law's birthday, and it apparently rips him up every year because he's never met her and never will. Since leaving, Anne has another baby and is currently pregnant with number 5, who may or may not be brother-in-law's. We are certain she cheated. STD check positive for her and negative for him. Plus, there were receipts. Brother-in-law has become a better man, and the brothers now have a decent relationship, and he apologized sincerely to me for all his heinous behavior over the years.
I'll certainly tell you what, none of them receipts had condoms on them.
Yeah. By the way, I'll certainly tell you that you can listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to the story, but I am so glad that you are out of that situation and that you got your kids out of that situation. You are seemingly doing much better now. Yeah. Oof. Anyone out there in a similar situation where they're like living with terrible people, really, really, it's always the answer is get out when you can. Get out when you can. Yeah.
Might not be ever a perfect moment. You just got to get out of there, and they'll make it easier. There's places you can go, like shelters.
There's shelters.
It just I mean it. Like 3 kids, probably too much to leave in the car. But like me, husband, wife, 1 kid, I would pick the car over living with all those people who are treating you so terribly, and one of which is like. I don't know, or 2 of which, I wouldn't trust those people with my safety.
No. Yeah, I mean, the fact that he's basically breaking into your home. Very, very terrifying. But OP finishes. Sister-in-law Beth had 3 kids. She's lost custody of her kids now, which are in father-in-law's care. Father-in-law cheated on his girlfriend, got kicked out from his home after we left. then moved into a literal shed for a while, and he's taking care of those kids. He got arrested taking stuff over the state line. He's living with his mom and sister, also trash people, on Beth's land. They all still hate me and claim I'm the worst thing to ever happen to the family. Wild. It's been a long road, and the stories could go on, but I don't have enough space here to tell it all. This is a very short version. Right now, we're getting done with military time and have an amazing job waiting for us. We have happy, loved kids, massive healthy boundaries, and the best future ahead of us. Still. Kind of wish I had like 600 more pages. I won't even start with my family. But let's just say it's about all the same. Ciao. Ciao.
I think you should write a book.
Yeah.
You should write a book about that.
About how
That is
awful
wi-
your
that is
collective families are.
that was wild.